Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, it doesn't cost you anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with a 10 of Wands. Now, for some reason, I always want to call the 10 of Wands the 2 of Wands, right? Because it looks like there should be 2 of us here. I think the 10 of Wands is saying that you are really carrying a lot of a particular burden all on your own. There's something that is maybe draining your energy, but taking a lot of it, right? A lot of your attention. And it feels as if maybe it feels a little bit overwhelming. We're going to put that into some context. All right, let's see what else is going on here with a few more cards. We've got the Sun card. See, now there's two figures here on the Sun card. So it could be, and now we have a 2 here. So oh, 10 of Pentacles. There is this implication of the 2, the number 2, right? Which could be a partnership. It could be more than even a, more than even a specific partnership or a literal partnership. It might just be an idea that we kind of have to share some of this, right? The idea that it is through our networks, our connections, our support system, that this will get easier. Okay, so I think really, and now we're going to pick the mystery card, but I think that you've taken on some kind of responsibility or some kind of work, some kind of project, some kind of leadership. You've taken on a burden. Yeah. Let's select the mystery card. But this is the bonus card, confirmation card. It's a random card like that one, but we're going to select our own for right over here for Little Bob Ross right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but these two we can look at. And we have a 6 of Wands, very nice, and a Queen of Swords. I wonder if the Queen of Swords is kind of talking about like a confidence that we might be feeling kind of as we move forward, right? But we'll take a look at those cards as well. Now, the mystery card, if you have an idea of what that is, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments. All right, let's do it together. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. All right, let's take a look around the room here. We've got major arcana. So we've got the Sun and we've got a Tower. And I think these two can be reconciled. We'll get to that. We have our fire energy, and we have a little extra fire energy with the 6 of Wands there. So we've got our fire, and fire. We don't have any water energy. The closest thing we have to water is the Queen of Swords, which is water of air, right? So there's a little bit of water implied in this card. And then, of course, we have our air energy. We have some air energy here. This Queen of Swords is an air card, particularly. And then look at this earth energy. 1, 2, 3, 4 very good earth cards. Very good earth cards. And to me, it kind of feels like something does need to change. There is this idea of 2 that's popping out, right? The 2 here, the 2 here, the 2 that are down there. And even with the Queen of Swords, it kind of has that duality of thinking and feeling, right? Heart and mind. So I feel like something does need to change in the way you're going about this project, this business. Maybe it's a relationship. To me, it feels financial. It feels something very like physical and, kind of goal-oriented, right? But something does need to change because I feel like you're taking all of the burden on your own. That you are maybe like literally doing everything, right? And this might even be kind of taking its toll on your back. I just feel like you're just kind of stretching your back like that, where it's just like, at the end of the day, I think you're very exhausted. I think this is taking a lot of your energy, kind of wearing you out. But there's this idea in this card of not codependence. Now, see, I think that you have this refusal almost to rely on anyone. You know, you've got this it's a very creative, very powerful, stubborn energy that doesn't want to feel as if somebody else had to come in and take over, right? Or somebody else had to come in and save the day. No, you're Sagittarius. You're the one that saves the day, right? So there's kind of a reluctance to accept help or accept the idea that maybe we do need to kind of spread this burden around a little bit. But what I see with the 10 is more of an interdependence than a codependence. And I also see that this might be the very beginning of this project, this work, this career, this new promotion, this big thing. Maybe it's a relationship, but this responsibility. Okay. And at the beginning of a responsibility like this, I think it's the most difficult at the very beginning. Because I think you're still figuring out the ropes. We got the Queen of Swords. We're still figuring out how we feel about things. We've got a Prince of Swords. We're still kind of figuring out, how to do things and what new skills we have to learn and that sort of thing. But with the 9 of Swords and with the Queen here too, I feel like there is kind of there's an emotional component that we're not seeing because there are no water cards. Okay, so this could be something that either has a sacred meaning for you, and what I mean is that it's so important to you, so meaningful. Maybe it connects with your history, with your past, with your family, with your spirituality, something very private, and that's not something that's showing up in the cards. It's something that I feel is kind of being concealed, and maybe there's this idea that your feelings about this are kind of being concealed. And maybe there is this commitment, there is this sense of responsibility. Maybe you feel a certain type of way about it that you're not talking about. The Queen of Swords, right? Trying to mask some of our true feelings, right? This is the card that kind of says there's some water energy going on inside of you that there's an issue with the communication of those feelings, all right? And that's just something I think we need to keep in mind as we go through the rest of the cards, just to see if there is any connection there or anything that we might, need to talk about. I am getting this idea of a younger male energy with an R name for someone out there that is related to this thing. I don't know if there is a partnership, if you have a partner, maybe it's a spouse, maybe it's a friend, family member, or a coworker even. Younger male energy with an R name. And I feel like maybe they should be the second kind of responsible party here, but they're not, and I don't know if they're not by choice or if they're not because you haven't given them a portion of the work to do. You know what I mean? But the good news, 10 of Pentacles at the very top of the Path of the Dove. This is something that really is, it really is sacred to you. It is something that you really cherish because this is your ideal. The 10 of Pentacles is the picture of your best life. Okay? What is that picture for you? What is your kind of best life? If you had to, and I like to use this kind of example, if you had to get out a sheet of paper and a pencil and draw a picture of your best life, what would you draw? Your pets in there, your plants, your people, money, how much money? A home, what kind of home, right? What does that look like? What are you doing with your time? Like what is it that you're aspiring to? What is it that you want? What is the goal that you're after? What is your purpose? I think all of our purposes, generally, are to transcend, to always be making progress toward improvement, toward growth, toward expansion, toward the relief of suffering, the improvement of the quality of life, both for ourselves and for our loved ones. And loved ones could extend to the entire universe, right? We're all family, in a sense, yeah? So when I say our loved ones, I don't just mean like, the people that are the closest to you. It could extend out to the neighborhood, right? The country, the world, the universe, yeah? But that purpose has a particular set of details. And maybe you can't draw like me. You're going to just maybe do a top 10 list, right? What does wealth mean to you? Because this is at the top of the path of the dove. Like I said, this is something that it's on your mind. This is the reason why we're doing all of this, which maybe you are starting to realize that you feel a certain different kind of way about it. And maybe you just don't feel the same way toward this particular situation. We don't believe in it the same way. We don't feel about it the same way. Something has changed. The Two of Pentacles in the past position. Something has shifted for you. And it might be this shift where you're starting to feel a little bit kind of burdened by how much you are responsible for. Okay? Also, who in this situation has the really bad temper? Spirit's showing me somebody that really has a mouth on them, right? Someone that can't really hold back what they're saying sometimes. It could literally be someone like in your life or in someone close to you that is kind of acting that way now. It could really be and because we have that Tower card, this could be the building up of tension. Okay, and it could be that you're starting to get to that point where you find yourself not able to control your tongue sometimes. That the frustration is really starting to grow on you, starting to wear on you, and it's just kind of more and more it starts happening. So the Two of Pentacles, something has changed in your life, and it could be the acquisition of all of this responsibility, the assuming the leadership here, the taking over of something, the realizing that this is all on you, though it doesn't necessarily have to be. And your growing perception that you're feeling a certain kind of different way about this now. About life, about goals, about the future. Okay? The Princess of Pentacles down here beneath the surface, there is nothing that you cannot do. See, when you have the 10 of Pentacles up here, it's very refined. I was asking for details. You don't have to leave them in the comments or anything. You don't have to share them. But you know what they are, and you need to kind of remember what they are, think about what they are. But they're refined. They are specific details. Okay? The Princess of Pentacles is the rough idea. This is like the rough, dense forest, and this is kind of what you're able to, use as lumber and build a cabin, right? In the middle of all of this kind of raw, untouched nature, you've kind of carved out your life, right? And maybe it is important for you to do so in such a way that doesn't feel like you're destroying nature, that you're wasting these natural resources, right? Maybe you're somebody that wants to have kind of a very small footprint or a light impact in the world, right? And I don't mean with your purpose or with your success or with your accomplishments. I mean more like you don't want to have to step over a lot of people to get there. And that might be part of, because I think that's a very Sagittarian kind of thing. But I feel like that's part of the reason you don't want to give this burden to anyone else. Now, if you think of the Rider-Waite-Smith 10 of Wands, it's someone that's carrying a big bundle of sticks and, of wands, these big, logs, lumber. And they're just kind of trudging forward, looking at they're not watching where they're going. There's probably a lot of people around them in that card. I don't know if you can visualize the card. Maybe that's the mystery card. But there should be a lot of people around to offer help. Now, either people are offering help and you don't hear them, or there is no one around, and you feel kind of alone, kind of abandoned, kind of that this is your burden to carry, and there is no one that can help you carry it. Okay? And that may be the case. But we do see that Sun card. I don't want to neglect the Sun card. The Sun card is the success of this. And I think this is really going to result in, whatever the optimal outcome is of that 10 of Wands, I think will materialize. Because I see a sense of strength. I see a sense of the easing of that burden. The 10 will eventually become an ace. And it doesn't quite become the ace here. It becomes a 6. And you know what the 6 of Wands is? Victory. And the 6 in any of the suits, the number 6 represents the sun, right? 6 is the number of the sun. So we have this idea with the 6 of Wands that you are going to be overcoming this burden, succeeding with this burden, almost despite this burden. And I think that you are going to... you're going to have a sense of pride and accomplishment here. I'm reminded of the phrase I heard recently that everything that the light touches is yours, right? And there's this sense of, it doesn't really need to be an ownership kind of possessive thing, but I feel like you're looking around and just like there's this satisfaction that you were able to do this. So there's a reason, I still feel there's a reason somewhere why you're not letting anybody else share the burden with you. Right? And I think maybe it's because of there is this pride, and because the satisfaction that will come when you succeed in this. Right? Because we see the success here with the 6 of Wands. You are going to do it. And I think it's going to give you that satisfaction that you really have been looking for. But what I'm kind of wondering about is if you can still have this satisfaction and this sense of accomplishment without all of the the potential pain and anguish that goes along with trying to do everything on your own, right? So the 9 of Swords in the future position, I feel like you're losing a little bit of sleep over this thing, and I almost feel like there needs to be there needs to be 2 shifts, and we see that a little bit with the 2 of Pentacles here, right? There's a day shift and a night shift. And maybe then you can get some sleep at night. So there is something that is kind of pestering you mentally, emotionally about this situation. And that's what I think you need to get to the bottom of in order to have this kind of breakthrough that will lead to this tremendous success and satisfaction and pride and, ownership. We can take ownership of our accomplishments. But we have to know that even if we have 1 million people helping us, if we're part of a network, if we're part of a living, breathing network of souls here, we can still take pride and ownership of what we've done, what we've all done. It's not going to diminish that feeling. See, and the Sun card even implies that there's these 2 down at the bottom there. It could be something that you're doing with a sibling or something maybe, but maybe a partner of some kind. But I almost feel as if you want to accomplish your part of things. You want to accomplish the whole thing for your own reasons. But there is the implication. Now, the tarot's never going to tell you what to do, but there's this implication that this success can be shared. Yeah. Success can be shared. Let's go to the path of the Serpent now. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it helps out the channel, and I appreciate that. Okay, so the Tower card. The Tower looks like an ominous card. It looks like disaster, right? I don't think it is. I think that this is really the breakthrough that this experience is going to provide for you. A mental, emotional breakthrough. And also this kind of physical, creative, whatever it is that you're really working on. Because I feel like you're the person that's taking the raw materials and carving out the life, right? Whatever it might be, a business, a relationship, a family, maybe literally building a home, something like that. And the Tower here, to me, really represents that kind of a breakthrough. It's it's the mental emotional breakthrough that I think is really important, because there's a reason why we're not getting sleep. And if we discover the source of that anxiety, then I think just the awareness of it, right? That eye that's at the top there and the mouth that's down there. Just the awareness of it and the talking about it. The somehow relieving that tension but we've got to find out what it is first. I think that is going to allow you to really enjoy the satisfaction of your accomplishments right now. It's not an accident that you're in this position. It's not an accident that you find yourself here carrying this big, heavy burden, this bundle of lumber, right? It's not an accident. It is part of your fate, part of your destiny. We need to harmonize with that. We need to, I think, learn how to work with it and not feel as if we are being crushed by it, okay? And as successful as you're going to be, it's almost in some ways not worth it if you're getting crushed by it on the way to get there, right? The 6, though, shows that harmony. This is beauty. This is harmony. This is the center of the system here. And I think that this is really part of this breakthrough, that you're getting to your goals, yes. Do you want to get there with a little bit more ease and style and grace and having a little more fun on the way? Or do you want to just kind of barely skid into the finish line and be, I think, quite battle worn, right? So it's kind of that idea that our goals are there. How we get there is kind of up to us, right? And we have to be willing to change. We have to be willing to adapt to the changing circumstances, to be open to pivoting a little bit, open to these breakthroughs. And the Queen of Swords is that water and air. It is us being honest about our emotions, our feelings, our desires. Maybe we want something different here. And if we were able to adjust to that just a little bit, just even slightly shift things in our lives, we'll get to our goals with a lot more lightness of heart. I wonder if that's going to be the Fool in that mystery card. But the 9, we've got a 9 of Pentacles here, and this is really, really nice because this is progress. This is the visible sign of progress. Okay. This is us seeing things succeeding in a measurable way, and that we know that we're getting closer to our 10. This is our ideal. This is our picture-perfect happy life, right? This is wealth. Well, this is us getting pretty darn close. 9 to a 10, I'd say that's pretty close. But there's something that I think we need to adjust within ourselves to maybe get us a little bit closer to this. And there's a reason why I said the 10 of Pentacles is something that you draw, or like me, write a list in pencil. Because you can erase it, you can change it, you can edit it, you can add to it. You can erase people, places, things, and draw different things in there. Okay? It's not set in stone. You didn't use permanent pen. Okay? We don't have to scrap it and start over. We can edit and revise. And that's part of the 9 it's part of the 9 of Swords too, really. This is sometimes losing sleep because we're trying to figure out what needs to change. See, we even have the 2 that's talking about change. Something needs to be edited here in your heart and mind and in the kind of external flow of things. Yeah. But the 9 of Pentacles, this is very good. Now, I know I'm talking about the challenges and stuff involved here, but the simple truth is you're getting to your goals. We just have to know if these are the right ones for you, if you still want them in the same way, and if not, just make a little change and keep going. Because you're making headway. You're getting there. It's kind of like you're on the home stretch. You just got to make sure that that's the finish line you want. Yeah. And we've got these court cards coming next. We've got the Prince of Swords. And I think that this is really, it's more a mental thing for you, I think, kind of trying to get that, trying to rest your mind, trying to kind of turn off your mind enough at night that you can get some sleep, right? Maybe you have a noise machine, like the white noise thing, or there's a fan going while you're sleeping, because we just need that that extra something to kind of drown out our thoughts. Otherwise, I feel like you would stay up all night thinking about this, working it out. Not necessarily worrying, like biting your fingernails, but going through options. Yeah. Going through details. Visualizing them and really working through scenarios, which I think is very important. I think you also need rest. I think you're spreading yourself very thin energetically, vitally with your physical energy, but then mental energy too. Okay? Because there's something inside in the water that needs to be looked at and perhaps tweaked a little bit. Yeah. At the end here, we see the Princess of Wands. And I think that there is sometimes there with a tower, especially with these kinds of breakthroughs, these tower moments where aha, like I understand now, I've got it. Sometimes we feel a little bit Princess of Wands, where we want to just sweep everything off the table and start over. Or we want to just drop what we're doing and run off into the wilderness, into the sunset and do something else. It's very impulsive. Right? It's very risky. This is the card that's dancing with the tiger. And it reminds me of the I Ching, that the treading on the tiger's tail. You're doing something that's dangerous, that's risky, right? I mean, it's life. We're making big moves here, right? We're not nickel and diamond here. We're mass communicating. I think I said that wrong. I was trying to quote "Oh brother, where art thou?" I think I got it wrong though. We're making big moves. You're trying to do big things, right? Not just one at a time in here. So we have to move carefully. We know there's a sleeping tiger or a sleeping dragon. We don't want to step on the tail, right? Because then we got huge problems. So we have to be careful in what we're doing, though we're doing something that is leading to tremendous results, though the risks are also great. Okay? And I think the idea here is to remember that. Yeah, remember that it's not just, we're getting so close to the finish line that we feel like, well, I can just be a little bit carefree. I could be loud. I could run, and it's fine. No, you still have to be careful. It's Indiana Jones when he takes the gold icon off the stone thing, and then he thinks, I did it. No, but that's when you make the biggest mistakes, right? We're a little bit too anxious towards the end of the process. I think you're very close to that finish line, to that success here. I want to look at the mystery card. Yeah. I'm looking very much forward to the new Indiana Jones movie as well. I love those films. I haven't watched the newest one yet, so please don't tell me anything about it. I cannot wait to watch it as soon as I have some time here. Mystery card. Obviously, we need some water energy, right? We need to get in touch with the feelings of why we're doing this. And maybe it's not so much that things need to be tweaked. Maybe we need to rediscover why we're doing this, and that gives us that push, that gives us that motivation to kind of that gives us the breakthrough. Yeah. So I said maybe Fool energy. I kind of don't want the Fool energy. I want some water energy. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Here we go. Strength. Strength or lust. Yeah, I mean, fire, courage, right? And this might be a sense of magic, a sense of owning our energy, and the sense of having this kind of power. And the thing with this card, though, is that it seems like on the surface, this reinforces that Ten of Wands, right? It says, yeah, you've got the strength, the courage, the bravery, that you can control yourself. You've got all the power you need, all the creativity, all the ambition, all the confidence to do this on your own. By yourself. Carry all this lumber to the finish line all by yourself. I think there's a secret in this card, and I think that we talk about this a lot when we have any of the other kind of Leo energies, like a Five of Wands. We talk about that sometimes the greatest strength, the greatest power is in restraining our power, being able to control it, right? So it could be that the strongest act right now is to admit that we need to share the burden a little bit. You know, it might be the mark of a really strong character to ask for help or to say yes to others who are trying to help you, right? And the courage here too, with the Queen of Swords and all this water energy, the courage to look at our feelings again. Sometimes that's the biggest display of courage and bravery, is to be emotional, to get in touch with that emotional energy, right? I think we're way past this outmoded view that that strength and courage and bravery and this kind of energy here is all about this kind of masculine energy, power, the absence of the water energy, and then the not showing emotion and not being in touch with our emotions. I think it takes a lot more courage to look at how we feel. And that's scary, right? Because what if I look at my water energy, my heart, my feelings, my desires, and they don't match up with what I thought they were. They don't match up with this mental energy, right? Could be why we're losing sleep at night. So let's think about all of this stuff. We're going to move into an extended reading. Sagittarius, if you want to stick around, click on the link that should be in the corner, or it should be down in the video description. Either way, you'll find it. New readings for Sagittarius, Wednesdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. Chicago time. But I'm here every day. Come on back. See me again tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.